Hey, hey y'all, this is Dr. Traci Harrell, and I could not be more excited about today's show. So, you're watching Better Together and Living Powerfully. And what's really exciting about today's show is that we get to be very, very intentional, right? I think we're always intentional, but what I love about the Living Powerfully experience, this is where purpose meets practice and where transformation meets technology. So I'm being very, very intentional. I'm your host, Dr. Traci Harrell. I'm a transformational coach, a consultant, and founder of It's All Bigger Than Me Consulting. So today we're going to be diving deep into a prescription, the RX for success. The RX, or the prescription for living powerfully. That's all I talk about, but there are so many ways to come at it. And as people reach out to me, I'm like consulting with different people, and I get to choose who I work with, which is so nice. It's so nice. Like I feel like there's often these divine connections. So we're not just talking about success, we are embodying it. We are creating it. We are giving you everything you need to apply it to your life. And this work, we talk about mindset. We also talk about meaning and momentum. So it is about mindset. It is about what you think and what you believe, but it's also, what does it mean, right? So that the beliefs that you have affect everything, right? It affects your thoughts or emotions. And, you don't have to know the detail behind the neuroscience of it, but we're giving you the actions that you need to take to live powerfully, to live your definition of what living powerfully means. It's very exciting. So the 3 M's is about mindset, meaning, and momentum, right? And we're going to fuel this work with various tools that are shaping our world today, right? It's really about AI. And when I think about AI, I don't think about artificial intelligence. I think about applied intelligence. Like if I'm helping someone, I'm not just giving them information. I'm talking about how can how can you apply this AI? So when I say AI and PQ, AI is really about applying applied intelligence. And this is, again, no computer, supercomputer, mega quantum computer is more powerful than the human mind, the human brain, right? We know that to be a fact. AI and technology will absolutely support you in doing what you were meant to do, even faster and better and all the things. So we're going to combine a little bit of that, right? So when I say AI, again, I'm talking applied intelligence. When I say PQ, I'm talking about positive intelligence. And you don't even have to know what that means either, but it's the science of mastering your mind. So I'm giving you the information. That nothing is hidden. I'm not holding it back so you can pay me later. Because guess what? I'm getting blessed from this one up here. So when I put it out there, this is really content that I have in my book. And so when I finish a chapter, then I come here and I talk about it. So it's really the science of mastering your mind so that your best self, right? We call it the sage, but your best self leads, not the saboteurs, not those negative voices. That's important. So like master yourself before you go try to master a whole bunch of other things. And we all know that if you are not intentional about mastering yourself or achieving your goals, that intentionality and being really true, like being honest, like you can be looking the part, showing up in pictures that look the part, but if in your heart and people's experience with you is less than ideal, you got to be brave enough to really look in the mirror to say, how am I really showing up? Like, how am I really showing up? And when you can look in the mirror and really do that work, that's really living powerfully. That's my definition of living powerfully. We all have different definitions. So again, when I talk about AI, I'm talking about applied intelligence. So that's my new. When Traci, I'm a certified AI consultant, business consultant. And again, I'm not trying to say I know all the things. I'm not. But I am saying I can help you apply AI to your business, to your life, so that you can live even more powerfully, easier, and do things that you weren't able to do. Some people say, oh, I'm going to help you save time. I'm going to help you do what you were doing even better, things that you didn't even have time to do, right? That's really what it's about. So how do we amplify and get you to those goals in a way that is just easier and you can spend more time doing the work you love? Right? So amplified intelligence, it's about the systems, the apps, the algorithms, the things that help us to expand our capacity our creativity, but it also expands our calm. Do you know how good it feels when you learn to use these things intentionally? That's the work that I'm going to do. Everybody has their space. That's my space. So I'm just calling myself, I am brilliant. I can say it. I am. But so are you. Like, I've tapped into my what it means for me to live powerfully. I've tapped into the work that I love to do, that I naturally do well, and that I can use to help others. So remember we talked about ikigai, that Japanese term for like living your best life. That's what this is. So for you, this is about expanding your capacity, your creativity, and your calm. You use these things intentionally. So someone called me last night. My business coach is Debrina Jackson Gandy, and I was supporting her in some work that she's doing, some presentations that she's doing. She calls me her technology doula. Did you love that? Like, we gotta work it out. So today we're going to be talking about intentionality, being deliberate about your thoughts. Stay with me now. Being deliberate about your thoughts, your focus, your relationship, and your goals. And yes, even your digital footprint, like the work that you're doing. You might be like, AI is going to destroy the world. I mean, whatever. People have all kinds of thoughts. I've heard it all. Right. And the truth is, all we can do is do your part, right, and allow the resources that exist to help you live your best life, right, and hopefully contribute to those around you, and hopefully make the world a better place. That's living powerfully. Like, that's what we're all, here to do. So because we feed our mind and our machines, right, it's whatever we feed, that's what grows. And so we really want to be intentional. It's not about control, it's about clarity. So intentionality is about being clear on what you want, right? This is who I am, this is what I value, and this is how I will show up today, right? Not these are some words, and then I'm going to do something different, and I'm going to figure out how to connect those two later. Debrina uses, she talks about consistency, right? So make sure what you say is aligned with what you do, and that the experience that people have with you is aligned with that. Like, that's my definition of truly being authentic, right? And again, everybody does it differently, so no judgment. But my work here with you is to say, how can I help you be more intentional? Intentional living means you stop drifting through life. I mean, can you believe it's already October of 2025? We were just talking about New Year's. I was in Africa, right? I can't believe it was almost a year ago. Whew. So being intentional says the clock is a ticking. Right? Being intentional means you don't drift through life reacting to everyone else's agenda, and you respond to your own vision. And that's important. It means you do your list. Your to-do list is driven by purpose. It's not by pressure, right, from other people. It's by your purpose. You wake up and you're joyful. You can't wait to do these things because this is what you were meant to do, right? It means your to-do list is driven, again, you drive your to-do list. I just kind of want to clarify. You're not trying to keep up with anyone else. You are focused on your purpose. And it feels so good. It really does. So it means you stop asking, what do I have to do? And start asking, who do I choose to be? Can I say that again? Hold, please. A lot of people ask me questions. Like I have amazing clients, people that reach out to me, and people that I prioritize their issues, their challenges, their time. I give them time intentionally because I'm like, you're one of my people. And so when people ask me this question about what to do next, it's not about the what to do. Again, it's about who do you choose to be. Right. So when you talk about getting practical, I call myself Fit Traci. I mean, I Fit Traci craves vegetables. I wake up craving vegetables sometimes. And when I do, I'm like all in. I have a big water that I keep near me. Right. I'm chugging. I have vitamins and supplements. I don't always take them. That's still one of my things. I have to be honest. I'm not really a big pill taker. So I'm still working on that. I'm supposed to take it first thing in the morning. I do get my base things in, like my medicine in and a few, but I now have this whole lineup of drops that I have. And I went on a trip, and I got another trip planned. So, they're probably in my luggage right now. So, for me, I was just talking to someone else, and I'm like, okay, I don't always do the things that I need to do. as far as the supplements. But that's what I won't end this year saying that. Like, this will not be a problem for me by the end of this year, because we talk about the inputs. What are the things that you're doing that will lead to the outputs that you want? We keep talking about that, but I want to clarify. I've lost, 30 some pounds, and I feel great. I went to this event. I went to the Rudd's Rub Initiative just Saturday, actually, October 4th. And it's Raising Up Black Businesses. It's the Black Business Leadership Conference. And Louis Rudd, who's the co-founder of Ezel's Famous Fried Chicken, the second largest, Black-owned franchise in the country. It's amazing that he continues to give back in community. They also had my second, one of my other favorite restaurants. I don't know if I can compare the two because they're very different, but Island Soul. Yikes. Theo is the owner of that location. It's Caribbean food, and I'm from Florida, so I'm a Southern guy. I've been in Jamaica I used to date a guy in Jamaica when I lived in Florida. So I've been to Jamaica quite a few times. I'm going to say that, at least 20. I don't know how many. I really don't know. But I love Caribbean food. And so when I go to Island Soul, it's like, oh my God, it's home. It's so special. So we had leaders like Louis Rudd at this event. And I say this to say that was, of all the things I did all day Saturday from like 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. or 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., that was me being intentional. I like being in community with these leaders in community, these entrepreneurs, and meeting new people. And hopefully I'm helping other people as well. But I also was there being intentionally in that space, felt so good. And I stroll in, think I'm looking cute. You know what I'm saying? It just felt so good. I just sat there and I just let, the energy of my community pour over me. But I also, who do I choose to be? Going back to that question, not what do I have to do? If you're thinking about ending the year and you might be stressed out, nothing I'm talking about. I talk fast, so I'm trying to slow down too. But never worry about what do I do next, right? We talk about meditation and prayer and the things that whatever you need, it's very simple once you're clear on these basic questions. So that's why I'm an executive coach and a leadership coach and an organizational coach, because it's like, who do I choose to be? That's really question number one. Not what do I need to do, but who do I choose to be? How do I choose to show up? And once you get clarity around who you choose to be, the steps that you take, the intentional steps that you take, kind of take care of themselves. You don't really need to ask, should I have this pecan pie today? I don't know. You can if you want to, but I'm also trying to lose weight. I got a trip to Jamaica planned in 2 weeks, right? It's not just about the trip. It's like my body is a divine living temple. Can I have it? Sure, I will. I will absolutely have treats and things. I don't know if I call them treats. I will have things that are less than healthy for me that might have a, sweet or some other type of, it's about enjoying, some flavors that are less than healthy, right? So I'm not saying I don't do that, but I choose to be someone who more than likely on my regular meals when no one's watching, I sauteed vegetables this morning. Costco has this is a little TMI probably, but they have this roasted vegetables that's, I'll make sure I'm plugged up. Yep. This computer just got dim. That was weird. And I actually put it, sauteed these vegetables, added some egg and had some fresh blueberries and grapes with it. And I just felt amazing. Oh, sorry, there's a sound outside. This kind of startled me for a second. So again, I'm like, I chose to be intentional about what I ate. Vegetables for breakfast, like sauteed vegetables, little eggs, some fruit. It was amazing. It felt great. So that's one step. And that was a success for me this morning. I could have had pancakes, right? Because I bought these little pancake things. Not for me. I bought them for my friends. So, who's very fit. But for me, like I said, I have different choices. And so, we're going to talk about getting practical. So we're going to talk about this morning routine, wake up and reach for your phone, or do you reach for peace? Like, I don't reach for my phone. I choose peace in the morning. So being intentional really is about choosing your first input of the day, right? Because here's the truth. Success is not an outcome, right? It's an input. I want to be very clear. We talk about success. The RX for success, or the prescription for success, that's living powerfully with AI and living powerfully with just living powerfully in general. PQ is only a part of it. I have to be perfectly honest, but it's a good part, right? Like, I like it. I don't, it's not the only thing. And when I'm coaching people, I like to say it's a beginning. It's a good beginning, but it's not everything at all. It's like part of level one. And then, there's 7 levels of living powerfully. And PQ, or positive intelligence, when you identify those areas, those saboteurs, you see them. Like, there's so much good stuff in it. Like, it's so simple and easy. You see your saboteurs, you hear those negative voices, and you just shut it down. Nope, not today. Like, it doesn't get any easier than that, like, as far as a prescription of what should I do. So if you believe that success is not an outcome, but it's an input, then the quality of your thoughts, your environment, your energy, all these other things, these are all about, the results that you get. The results that you get, I talk to my clients about, if you want a different output, you have to change the input. So if you want peace, don't chase it, feed it, fuel it. Like, I'm a gardener. Most people have seen, if you follow me on Facebook or any, if you've seen any of my pictures over the years, I'm an incredible gardener. Incredible. Like, I have award-winning lilies, 6-7 foot tall lilies, one stalk of lily that had, like, I think the one that's the most sweet 16, right? 16 lilies, the size of your hand, on one, like, huge, gigantic lily stalk. And I had the whole hundreds of lilies in my garden. And it was just peace. I enjoy getting my hands dirty. There's just something about that. So again, the input, in order to, feed it and fuel it, I didn't do a whole lot. Like, I didn't have to. Sometimes I wanted to. You got to give it good soil. You got to put some water. But again, we live in Seattle. But, during the months when it's not raining every day, right? You soil, fertilizer, and water, and then the sun kind of takes care of itself here. And the plants that are supposed to thrive, I call my plants survivors. I don't have to, take extra care and do extra stuff. No, if you're meant to survive in my garden, then you're gonna take the good and the bad, right? And I say that to say, if you want peace, like I like a beautiful garden, then I choose well. I choose the stuff that's gonna be in my garden. I don't chase after shenanigans. So if you want peace, then you're not chasing after the Joneses, right? You're not choosing things that you already know based on your history. People, you don't spend a whole lot of time with people that are going to give you problems, right? So these are choices that we make, right? Who we hang out with, who we spend time with, where we invest our time and our energy, fuel what is going to bring you peace. That's that's a given. So I'm going to end. That's kind of part one. I just wanted to summarize this concept of being very clear. How will you show up today, right? This is who I am. I'm intentional. I'm gonna make sure I look at who do I choose to be today, and I'm gonna do the things that are aligned to who I choose to be. Fit Traci is also, again, I'm a transformational coach, so I want to help people. So when I say very intentionally, it's about living powerfully with AI, not artificial intelligence. I'm calling it applied intelligence. Do you love that? That's me, because I'm just gonna help you apply it. You can't do all the things. You don't need to do all the things. I'm not the quantum physics, expert, but I can tell you how to improve your life, how to live powerfully with AI. That's the work that I do, right? So anyway, I'll keep moving. Okay. So being intentional, again, choosing your first input of the day, deciding that you're going to fuel the outcomes that you want. You've decided who you want to be, and you're going to fuel that, right? So if we visit what I call the 4 I's for living intentionally, that's what we're going to do next. This is kind of part 2 of this session, and I got 6 minutes. So I'm going to get this in here, and then we'll circle back to some other great stuff. But the 4 I's for living intentionally. This is about living powerfully. But I'm saying one way you live powerfully is you're intentional. You decide what you want and you go after it. You say, I want to be this today. Fit Traci loves vegetables. Fit Traci loves water. Fit Traci actually loves being out in the sun and taking a walk. And Fit Traci, right, is pushing herself physically, right? To do things. I actually have my little Wii Fit, like my Wii stuff out because, I find myself like I want to be ready, take some time and bowl or do something that is physical and fun. So Fit Traci loves this kind of stuff. Whatever your goals are, just decide who you are and what you're going to do. So we're going to visit the 4 I's for living, for being intentional, for living powerfully and living intentionally, right? So it's a simple, but it's a profound framework to keep you aligned. Okay. So we're going to strip away the noise. This is what's essential. It's non-negotiable for your peace. And we want you to have peace, purpose, and joy. I say those words because that's like the work that I've been doing for the last 15 years, right? Like even when I was in the corporate space, I didn't back down when people would say things like, we're not ready. Like I was doing some diversity work. That wasn't my job, but I was doing work that was called the Adaptive Leadership, Equity, and Inclusion Initiative. Want to have an inclusive experience, right? So for me, that was part of my purpose in that space, right? I couldn't be at peace just going along with the go along. So for me, what's non-negotiable for me is peace. It's about purpose and it's about joy. I choose joy. Even in the middle of shenanigans, when other people are doing stuff that should be like attacking me, I'm like, that's not what God, God wants me to be happy, find joy. And that's all I can do. Peace, purpose, and joy. That's for me. And you have that too. Like it's ours for the taking. It's not just for me, it's for you. But these are choices. Just want to say that these are choices. So if you make a list right now, the 5 things that make you feel most alive, that's kind of your compass, right? The things like I love helping people. I love making sure that whatever I'm doing is providing true outcome and results. Like I can't just show up and check the box. I'm not a box checker. Somebody wanted me to do, because I helped them raise some money, $1.9 million for some pre-construction work. They actually asked me to do fundraising 100% of the time. I'm like, I'm supposed to be doing capacity building work. Like that's what's going to really elevate you moving forward. I can't do this full time because that's not gonna, like my personal values wouldn't allow me to just do the fundraising when I know capacity building is what you need more. And that's really where the value is going to come from. So I kind of had to finish that. Like God wouldn't give me peace about not finishing it. So when he says, finish something, I finish it. So I just finished it. I'm very excited about that. So, again, 5 things that make me feel alive is really contributing, making sure that I'm making a difference in the lives of others, which is part of the reason I show up here, right? My next book is going to include these types of things for free, videos written out, exercises, because it's based on 1,000 books that I've read, and the top ones, they all say the same thing, basically. So I'm kind of packaging it and using it, right? Not just telling you what I heard or telling you what I read. I'm telling you what I know and what I do. So I'm showing up fully authentic, right? So visualization, it's not woo-woo, it's neuroscience, right? And I say the work I do is about neuroscience and positive psychology. It's cognitive behavioral psychology and it's performance science, right? So it's with the, athletes, it's all proven, in 100 different ways. When you imagine your success vividly, your brain releases dopamine. And if you've already achieved, it's like as if you've already achieved it. Right. So that chemical pattern increases your motivation and your focus, which is why we say visualize the outcome. Visualize the outcome, but then take the focus on the input. Right. What input do you? The output is important, but what's the input? And you want to see it. You want to celebrate it. Yes, I see Fit Traci. She is gorgeous. But I'm gorgeous right now. I'm just even more gorgeous later. Right. Like I'm even more fit. I'm going to be even more, have more endurance. Right. And so, spend time imagining, what does your best day feel like? What is when these goals that you want, when they're achieved, what does that feel like? So it is important to visualize, but then you want to be intentional, right? So you want to imagine your next level self. So we want to start with identifying what truly matters. So want to slow back down, strip away the noise. What's non-negotiable for you? I told you my non-negotiables, peace, purpose, and joy. Like I'm gonna do that regardless of what's happening around me. I'm going to choose peace. I can shut other things out, but that is important to me. You want to imagine your next level self, Fit Traci. I see you, right? But I'm also purposeful Traci, right? I'm a transformational coach. I'm going to transform myself and I'm going to help others to transform. So you want to imagine your next level self. That visualization is so important. And then you want to be intentional. So intend to your day, right? Intend your day, like be intentional throughout your day. Intentions are daily declarations. Today, I intend to bring grace into every conversation. Today, I intend to listen more than I speak. Today, I intend to trust that I am enough. Today, I intend to choose joy no matter what happens. These are declarations, but they're intentions. What do I intend to do today? I intend to show up because, right? Like my body is a divine living temple. That's my intention. And that's what I did all day today. Right? And these are choices. So being clear what your intentions are, and then implement and celebrate, right? These small steps matter. When I talk about these intentions and the input, it matters. So every time you follow through, you get to reinforce your brain's success circuitry, right? Like your brain is like, oh, okay, I see you, especially when you do it and you celebrate. It's like, oh, okay. So you want to celebrate these micro wins, these intentions. I intend to do this. When you do what you intend by drinking water, yay. Oh, Fit Traci in the house. I'm becoming more fit Traci every day, right? With these choices. So same for you, right? Fit Traci is also transformational Traci. I'm going to transform myself and help others to transform their businesses. We have this tool that's going to help you. Oh my God, I'm so excited. So because I had to use it for myself, like I'm applying for grants for myself and for other people, and these competitive solicitations, and they're a mess. Like when you have all these documents that you have to complete and then, upload and do all this work. Well, I'm doing some AI that will make it's automating that. Yeah, so I have that. So I'm actually making it even better, but I'm building it out, and it's like, yay, yay, yay. I want to work with people that are intentional. So to be able to do that, like that is incredible. So being able to do it and do it well, that's the work that I'm doing right now. So small steps matter. So you want to implement and celebrate. When I do one thing that's similar to the work that the longer term outcome, I just celebrate it. When you follow through, you reinforce. Again, you celebrate these micro wins. The world celebrates outcomes, but the universe rewards consistency. That's why we talk about being intentional. Being intentional is how you are consistent, because you wake up with the intentionality. So you're like refocused on, yep, that's what I'm going to do today. That's how you're consistent. We can talk about consistency, but you can say it, but if you're not giving someone the step backwards to say you got to be intentional, right? That's how you're consistent. Whew, I know I have to take a break. Let me see what my producer's saying. Okay, I got to take a break. Y'all, this is Rainier Avenue Radio. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're going to be talking about better together and living powerfully and giving you everything you need to be successful. Stay with us.
Radio, your community radio station will provide you with more information. Rainier Avenue Radio.
So I needed to check my kids' immunization records for their school. My doctor told me I could get them quickly online, but I couldn't figure out how. Thankfully, I could turn to Link to Care WA for help. With Link to Care WA, I was able to learn how to use online health portals, use telehealth to talk to my doctor virtually, and even apply for jobs online. I called their free hotline and got help from a real person. Call Link to Care WA at 866-757-1832 or visit linktocarewa.org.
Hey, Seattle, tune in to Lidline Sports every Monday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m.
What up, yo? We are back. This is Pep and the man that don't take no mess, Mr. O-P-I-S, Mr. Stevenson. What say you?
I hope you see the hat that I'm wearing right now. That's how mad I am.
I do. Man, you are angry.
I just want to make that be known.
Tune in to Lidline Sports every Monday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Lidline Sports.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects. For more information, visit kingcounty.gov.
Women Empowerment Talk Radio, your community connection to business success. Tune in weekly to Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Listen and learn from local and national guest speakers, providing resources and knowledge for the everyday business owner. Women Empowerment Talk Radio, weekly on Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
A teacher who hurt their back and got prescribed opioids. A daughter trying to cope with a loss in the family. A friend silently struggling, thinking they'll be a burden if they ask for help. People with addiction come from all walks of life. And the truth is they stand a better chance at recovery with our support. Reaching out and sharing local resources can make all the difference. Don't count them out. More people recover with support. Find more ways to help at supportaddictionrecovery.com. That's supportaddictionrecovery.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rainier Avenue Radio.world, the station that cares about our community. Yeah.
Hey y'all, this is Dr. Traci Harrell, and today we are talking about intentionality. How do you live powerfully? Again, living powerfully is a choice, right? Your decisions determine your destiny. I love that concept. If you remember that your decisions, the choices that you make day in and day out, that's what determines your destiny. So if your decisions determine your destiny, then you want to choose well. So how do you choose well? Again, I'm kind of rolling back so you're all very clear. You're intentional. You wake up with some intentionality. So you're being clear on what you want to accomplish, right? Just a quick little recap. You want to, this science of micro wins. It says research shows that success compounds through those small wins. So you want to celebrate the small wins. You want to celebrate the progress, not perfection. You've all heard that before, right? So this concept of, AI can help us design the life that we want, but only if we are the architects of the life. So I'm doing a series that's living powerfully, in your life, in every aspect of your life. But I'm also bringing in AI. I'm talking about PQ as a part of it. So living powerfully with AI and PQ, but really it's about the RX, the prescription for success. Living powerfully is a choice. And so, we really want to use this lens around legacy as well, right? We want to make sure that as we show up, we are doing work that is going to leave a legacy, right, for the next generation. So we started this whole section out with the concept of intentionality, right? That's what we said. We wanted to welcome you to a show that's going to be both transformational, but also focus on mindset, meaning, and momentum. That's what we're doing today. So, the work I'm doing is fueled by the tools that are shaping our world, right? And it's our minds. A lot of people are concerned that AI is going to take over. Our mind, and AI is never going to be more brilliant than the minds that we bring into the game. If you don't leverage it, you're not going to become obsolete. If you do leverage it, you're going to get ahead of everyone else. I don't want to put out this doom and gloom, right? Obviously the work that I'm doing is recommending that we show everyone how you can leverage AI, right? Just show them what they could possibly do. I'm planning a vacation. We're going to Jamaica and I'm planning a vacation, and I got a lot of my research done through my agent, right? An AI agent. So I didn't really need a travel agent because I got to do this work, in a way that was simple. So this concept of being intentional says I want to show up and I want to do the things that I love to do. Right? I want to be very clear on the outcomes that I want, but I also want to show up and, in my zone of genius. I want to spend as much time as possible doing the work that I love, doing the work that I was put on this earth to do. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time doing other things, right? If I'm helping someone, I love that, right? I love helping people. But being intentional also means you're not drifting through life, right? You're not reacting to everyone else's agenda. You're responding to what your own vision is, right? So who do I choose to be is the real question, not what do I have to do, right? You want to ask, who do I choose to be, today? That's really the concept of being intentional. Who do I choose to be today? And you want to percolate on that. You want to visualize that. You want to see that person. You want to see the outcome of the thing that you want to build or that you want to create. If intentional means choosing your first input, but you also are choosing along the way. So if success is not an outcome, it's an input, right? It's what you put in to the process. The outcome is going to come, but right, it's really the output is can only be different if the inputs change. So that's why we really, really want to focus on the input. So we talked about our 4 I's: identify what truly matters, imagine your next level self. We said intend to your day, like be intentional throughout your day. Intentions are daily declarations. Today I intend to do this. I'm going to bring joy into every interaction. I'm going to bring grace into every conversation, right? I'm going to listen more than I speak. I'm definitely practicing that one. Right? The 4th I is to implement and celebrate. So then again, it's identify what truly matters, imagine your next level self, see it, visualize it, be intentional throughout your day, and then implement and celebrate. How cool is that, right? So, I could talk about PQ. We've talked a lot about PQ in the past. The thing I like about it is, again, your brain. This is Shirzad Shamin. I'm a certified PQ coach as well. The PQ formula is really about noticing when you're not living on purpose. Notice when your saboteurs or those negative thoughts show up, and you just catch the negative thought pattern. You see it and you say, if you're going deep into the work, you can say which saboteur it is, but it really doesn't even matter, right? Which one it is. If you can name it, it's awesome. If you can go deep into it, it's wonderful. It really is. But I say, if there's any negative feeling, any negative energy, any negative thoughts, say, oh, that's one of my saboteurs, right? You want to pause. That's not where I want to go right now. So this is how you're intentional. Take 3 slow breaths. We call them PQ breaks or PQ breaths. You want to inhale, calm, and then you want to exhale the chaos, right? Inhale, peace. Exhale any, distractions. So that 3 breaths, inhale, calm, exhale, chaos. I love that. So again, if the formula is to notice or catch the negative behavior, number 2 is to pause and take 3 breaths to basically allow you to choose. So it's really bringing control back to your prefrontal cortex. And then you want to shift. You get to choose differently. Move from judgment to curiosity. Ask, what's the gift here? How do I want to show up? Like, what did we say earlier? Like, who do I want to be? Who do I want to be in this moment? Right? And if something is happening around you, you can ask about the gift. What's the gift in it? And we can talk about how you get to the gift if that's not easy for you to think about. But really, who do you want to be? Like, I'm a happy, joyful person. I often say to people, like, choose joy. And sometimes they look at you like, girl, ain't nobody got time to be choosing joy. But I say, because it's an option. No matter what is happening, car accident, oh Lord, is everybody okay? Oh, I'm glad no one died. You know what I mean? Like, there's always something to be grateful for. So you want to ask, what's the gift here? So and every time you shift from that negative mindset, that saboteur mindset, you're literally rewiring your brain, right? It's those neural pathways. You start to favor peace. Your brain is like, oh, I see. She likes peace. She's not about the chaos. She prefers peace over chaos. She prefers calm over chaos. She prefers peace over panic. Hello. She prefers to respond. She likes to take a moment. She likes to take a beat, right? She wants to respond over reacting. There's a difference. Responding means pause, and I get to choose. React is like, what? React. I like to say you can take the ghetto out the girl, but you can't. You can take the girl out the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out the girl. You say the wrong thing to somebody, and their reaction could be straight ghetto. I say that for myself, not anybody else, right? But I like to think that more times than not, I'm kind of corporate trained, so we know how to show up in excellence, right? We know how to show up with grace and charm and respond, overreacting. Shut the negative out, And again, I do have times when I say things that I shouldn't, and we're all working on that. But the point is knowing that there's a difference and knowing that all you have to do is to notice, catch the negative thought, pause, take those breaths, PQ, physical, some type of PQ breath or PQ moment, and then shift from whatever judgment or, shift, right, to curiosity, to those, we call them sage superpowers. And so we can go deep into that, and I love it. So I'm not pushing that off. It's just that's not what we're focusing on today. So I got just a few minutes to really continue this idea. Part 4 is really about AI. So I am going to be, and I talked about this before, during Labor Day, we talked about these labors of love. And this is one of my labors of love, right? Integrating AI, right? Again, I'm not even thinking about AI as, I don't call it artificial intelligence. Of course it is, but it's applied intelligence. It's amplified intelligence. That's the language. That's what you're going to hear from me. That's part of my branding when I think about integrating it, living powerfully with AI, not just artificial intelligence. It's amplified intelligence. It's that concept of applying it. If you got information in your head, but you're not doing it, where's the fun in that, right? Where's the outcome in that? So AI can be your, just like we say with PQ, that your brain can be your best friend or your worst enemy, right? Like your brain can play tricks on you, right? These voices, the negative voices say things that aren't really true, and then that takes you down a path, oftentimes a habitual path, something that you've seen before, and it's like, okay, here we go. But you can put a pause to it immediately, as soon as it shows up, as soon as that negative thought shows up, not today. Just stop it. I know it sounds weird. You're like, that's all you gotta do is breathe. I'm telling you, it's the beginning. It's the beginning of the pause. So then you get to choose differently. So I say this all to say, just like our minds can be our best friend or our worst enemy, AI can also, it can be an ally or it can amplify your anxiety. Some people are stressed out like, oh, Lord, I'm behind. Oh, Lord. If my business isn't using it, I'm going to be obsolete. Oh, Lord, I'm going to lose my job to AI. Right? So AI can amplify your anxiety, right? It depends on how you use it. It depends on your mindset around it. And I'm saying, nope, living powerfully with AI, again, there's a choice. You get to decide. Right? If being intentional with AI means a few things, this is what it means to me. So being intentional in life, living powerfully, these are choices. We get to decide who we want to be. With AI, it's the same. You can decide what you want to use, right? AI, being intentional with AI means using it to do 3 things. I'm just going to break it down. Simplify what's complex. There's some things that you do that's too complex. AI can help you simplify that. Amplify what's good. If there's something you're doing and you want to do more of it, AI can help you do more of it. AI can also help to clarify what's unclear. So I just want to break it down. Like there's a lot you can say about AI, a lot you can think about AI, but living powerfully with AI is like, just understand it is just a tool. It's just another resource. You decide how you use it, if you use it, and what you use, right? And I'm just saying, be intentional about it, right? Don't let it amplify your anxiety. Instead, use it so that it's an ally, right? And then if we summarize meeting notes, for example, brainstorm ideas, you still get to choose. You don't lose control. Right. So if you said, I want to learn one thing a week or one thing a day or whatever, it's not going to replace people who are conscious. AI is not. It's going to replace those unconscious drones, right, who just drift through life. But if you are on intention, can't nobody be what you were meant to be. AI can't replace a genius, right? A zone of genius. It can't, right? Because you're bringing something to the table that can't be replicated. And AI, hopefully, for most people, it will help you do whatever you're trying to do better and faster. It'll help you do those 3 things I just talked about, right? Simplify what's complex, amplify what's good, and clarify what's unclear. So again, the future belongs to the intentional. Whoever's going to be intentional about their life, their choices, AI, again, is a resource. So I got just a few minutes and I'm going to move to my next section. So I'm going to talk about integration, right? From intention. So again, you got to be intentional first. But I told you one of my values is about impact. So someone invited me to do some work for them. And I was like, yeah, I can't do that. Like I felt just physically uncomfortable. Like I should be able to do that, but I don't want to do it. Like that's not like I want to just fundraise for you. Like I really want to help you with the greatest impact in my body, my brain, and my head. Once I've done the analysis, I know I can see what the option is, right? Someone else asked me to fundraise for them and they got a business, they got processes that, it's not so urgent for them that they do some capacity building. But when you don't have it, it's like, I'm not going to build a building on sand. Like I'm not going to build on sand. So somebody with a successful operation, I can help you fundraise. But if you're just saying, help me fundraise, you know what I mean? So I'm just saying, like, for me, this is important. Intention is important because that's how we show up and make these decisions, and our input leads to the output that you want, right? But impact is really the most important thing. So intentionality means nothing without the actions, right? So getting ready to get ready, be ready. Stop waiting for perfect. Stop editing your brilliance. Progress requires movement. So I just want to say that, right? Ask yourself daily, what's one small action that aligns with my bigger vision? What's one thing I can do today that aligns with the bigger vision that I'm trying to accomplish? So again, intention, but you want impact. You got to do something. You got to move. Keep it moving. That's something I've said since I was 10. Keep it moving. Who can I serve today, right? With what I already have. What can I do today with what I already have? Maybe there's some more stuff you need, but what can I do right now? How can I show up joyfully before the results arrive? Doctor calls you up and you're like, oh my goodness. God, I trust that you got my back, right? Because waiting for success to bring you peace, it's backwards. Peace is what produces sustainable success. Hello? I read 1,000 books. I stopped counting when I was, I don't know, coming out of college. But I did have a list of 999. I did. And then I was like, okay, I knew one of my books was going to be like packaging it down to my top. First, it was going to be my top 100. And then it was like my top 10. And so really, they all kind of say the same thing. And I've been reading books about the mind since I was a young child. And I say that because, if you ask yourself, what's one small action that aligns with your bigger goal, your bigger vision? Who are you? Who can you serve today? What can I do today? Waiting for success is not how you do it. Remember, we choose joy. So peace is what produces sustainable success. You choosing joy now, no matter what's happening around you, that's how you're successful, right? I love it. And with the PQ work, again, it's part of it. It's like a level 1 kind of element, but it's really, I love it. It says sage doesn't need proof, it creates it, right? Meaning that when we talk about AI, so I'm trying to integrate the two things. It can help you accelerate your actions if you give it direction. You got to give it the right direction, which means you got to be clear before you even bring AI into it. But I'm saying living powerfully with AI, and I'm getting loud a little bit because living powerfully with AI, you don't have to use AI, but you do have to have a clear intention. And if you have a clear intention, and we can work on that. I'm a coach. I'm a certified AI consultant. I'm a business coach, etc. Have a clear intention. If you want to start a business, then AI can help you outline your business plan. It can help you draft a speech. I want to go and speak to someone. It can help you design your next presentation. Quick lickety split, right? But you want to make sure the work that you're doing feeds your story, feeds your soul, and feeds your truth. Does that make sense? So AI can help you to live your best life, to live powerfully. So when I say living powerfully with AI, that's just a part of it, right? But you living powerfully, period, is a choice. Living powerfully is a choice, right? And AI can be a part of that. And if that's the part that you wanted to be, then we can show you how to do that, right? There's a science of small wins. I just want to move to this real quick. Success is not one big leap. It's 1,000 micro movements. Every book that you've read talks about this progress principle, right? It's not about, we think we feel more motivated, not by reaching the goal, but by recognizing progress toward it. Did I show up today is a question you want to ask yourself. Did I show up today? Because I said I was going to be intentional. I started my day. You end your day. Did I show up today? Did I take one step, even if it was a small thing? Did I practice gratitude, kindness, and forgiveness today? Right? Was I joyful today? And if the answer is yes, then you're already successful. Yes, success begets success, right? It's this momentum, the principle of momentum. So you're training your brain that says, to associate success with the presence of just your presence. I showed up today. That's success. Your presence, not pressure about I got to get to the end. I got to lose 100 pounds. No, did I show up today? Did I drink my water? Did I choose well for most of the day? Yeah. Okay, good job. And there's more I can talk about, but this is how I want to end because it looks like we're short on time. So with people, when you think about legacy, I also want to end with this. It isn't about building a title. It's really about, it's the way people feel when they encounter your presence. Do they see, oh, that one right there? I don't know about her, right? What people will say, you know, about you based on how you made them feel. Maya Angelou talks about people may not remember, you know, what you said to them, but they're definitely going to remember how you made them feel, right? And so that is a part of it too, right? Your legacy is, you know, it includes a lot of things, but it's also going to include your digital footprint in this society, right? Did you leave something for someone else? Every post that you put out there, every word that you say, every idea, right? You're programming your impact in real time. You are programming it. You're putting it out there. So when you wake up tomorrow, don't just log in, log on to your purpose, like tap into your purpose. Don't just be like, don't just go along with the go along. Don't just do what everybody else is doing, posting stuff that looks pretty, but it doesn't have any depth. No, you want to truly show up differently. So if I had to say, let's make this practical, here's your prescription for success this week. Start with those 3 breaths every morning before checking your phone. You just want to, basically you're lowering you're increasing your PQ, your positive intelligence quotient, but you're lowering your stress level, just breathing, pausing, notice your thoughts, right? And then set one intention. Today, I will lead with love and clarity. Today, I will listen more than I speak. Today, I will encounter each person with an utmost grace. Today, I will be courageous if that's something that you're working on, but just one intention. And then you can also use AI to support you. Like AI can be your little buddy. How can I use this tool to help me simplify, amplify, or clarify something that I'm doing? That's what I do as an AI consultant and a coach, because I know several resources and tools, etc. But I was already a coach. So it's like now I'm just looking for ways to help people. So you want to use AI if possible, right? And typically, if you're producing anything, there's a way to simplify, amplify it, or to clarify it, right? With AI, just saying. But then you also want to celebrate the win. If you are able to use AI to help you move toward that one thing, celebrate the micro wins. Write them down every night, right? Build the momentum. Like I did ABC today. And that's living powerfully. There's not waiting for peace, but you're producing it through your intentional choices. So live on purpose. And again, AI may assist you, but your intention defines you. And again, I'm going to be talking about AI, but you might be like, Tracy, talking about AI, and I'm not even thinking about AI. No problem. I'm also just talking about you living powerfully. You write the code for your character every day. So you decide who you are. So I'm talking about you first. AI can help you be your best you, but you got to know, who do you want to be? Right? That's why I'm like, you are the author of, of your best life. You get to live powerfully. So you're writing the code in your character every day, through your choices, through your thoughts, through your habits. So AI may assist you, but again, living on purpose, you want to breathe deeply, celebrate every win, and remember it's all bigger than you, but it does start with you, right? I'm Dr. Traci Harrell, reminding you that living powerfully, it's not a future goal. Living powerfully is a daily decision. It is a choice. And I invite you to join us right back here next week. Feel free to reach out to me. My email is traci@itsallbiggerthanme.com. Are there any announcements for today? It looks like there are no announcements. So this is Dr. Traci Harrell. And if you need me, my email is traci@itsallbiggerthanme.com. And this is just another chapter in my contributions to the universe, helping you to live powerfully. Living powerfully with AI and PQ. It's your RX for success, your prescription for success. Hopefully you enjoyed today and join us next week. And feel free to reach out to me, Traci@itsallbiggerthanme.com. And it would be my honor to support you. Remember, decisions determine your destiny. You got this. Bye, y'all.